can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Marsh
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. Pierre, McGuire, Jimmy Murphy here, live from the AC Marriott in Belfast, our home away from home. Pierre, well, we are here in Belfast 3 times now, and I'm hoping four for you. That's right, 3 for me, and I'm sure there'll be many more as well. We love it here. We're gonna be joined shortly by Holly, the general manager here, to talk about the hotel. If you're ever here, we highly suggest you stay here, Pierre. I can't speak highly enough about it.
Oh, it's a great hotel. The rooms are awesome. The workout room's great. You're central to downtown Belfast. The rink's right behind us.
Yeah, if you can see it right there in the background.
Right behind us.
There it
the
is.
rink is over there. The food is outstanding. The breakfasts are great. And so, yeah, I have nothing but great marks for this place.
And the staff is just so friendly and accommodating, Pierre. You know, whenever you have an issue, they solve it like that. It's wonderful, much like our friend Sarah Stanton from Cara Group Travel, who introduced us to this place. We'll be seeing her later, Pierre. We're going to a big New Year's Eve event at the Game of Thrones Museum. I absolutely know nothing about that show, but maybe I'll start watching it after being there. But we're excited to be there with all the teams and everybody involved with the Friendship Series here. Should be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be a great time. I was over at the rink bright and early this morning. I got done doing a Montreal Canadiens post-game show at 4 a.m. Came here and had breakfast this morning. Then went right over to the rink to watch practice, and a lot of enthusiasm.
Yes.
A lot of the young ladies are participating with a little bit of vim, vigor, and vitality. Let's say that. So I'm looking forward to the games on Friday. Tomorrow, I don't know if it's a day off or not. I'll be at the rink.
Yep.
I'm sure there'll be some practices, but what really stood out to me was it's almost different, the level of communication from what I was used to watching with women's games at practices. There's bigger staffs, and because they're bigger staffs, to me, there's more communication on the ice. And I found that interesting because I thought I saw more interaction with coach to player this morning and this afternoon over at the rink with the women than what I'm used to seeing with the guys, which is kind of interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. I know, just, talking to them when we were in Dublin at the Harry Lemon, then seeing some of them here so far. Quinnipiac is staying here at our hotel. They're so excited to be here. And it's just, I think they're starting to get what this is about, and what an honor it is basically to be able to help grow the sport of hockey in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, and be part of what, Robert Fitzpatrick and everyone here, the Belfast Giants, Cara Group Travel, and everyone involved with the Friendship 4 and the Friendship Series is trying to do.
Well, Stevie Thornton. I'll just say this right now, just so you know. So Stevie Thornton's a general manager. He was a BU guy, played at BU. He's a great player at BU, played pro hockey for a long time, 12 years. He eventually settled here. He's the general manager of the Belfast Giants. Stevie Thornton was there the entire morning watching practice.
Wow.
He was there.
Despite to tell him where their team is right now.
His team's over in Glasgow.
After playing yesterday.
They played yesterday, overtime win against Glasgow. They flew out this morning. Glasgow took the boat back last night. And so they're going to fly back. Stevie's team's going to fly back right after the game tonight in Glasgow. And then this weekend, they're going to fly over to Manchester, and they're playing over there for the weekend.
And yet he's here taking
He's
the time
here
to
watching
do that.
the practices.
That's
so it just speaks to how much commitment. It's not just the people that are playing.
Yeah.
It's the people that are supporting to help build this. They're committed to it. And it's sometimes people use a lot of words and they don't live up to the words that they speak. This guy doesn't say a lot, but he does a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how he does business. True. Stevie's a really good person.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see. But yeah, like we said, we're here at the AC Marriott Belfast. We really love it here, Pierre. But I know you were up late watching the Montreal Canadiens get a great come-from-behind victory over the Florida Panthers. I did not watch the game. I watched the highlights. And one thing that struck me was pretty different third period than the first 2 periods, huh?
Well, the pace of the game in the first 2 periods is actually pretty good. Where it really started to take the game over at the tail end of the second period, Montreal took 2 penalties. Florida got on a power play. They weren't able to score, but then on their third power play, which started the third period, Slavkovsky with a trip in the neutral zone, they were able to score on a Brad Marchand goal. And then the game kind of opened up because, you see what happens. Great goaltending, I think, from Sammy Montembeault. And then he gives up a bad goal to make it 2-0 Florida.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, this is over. And then Lane Hudson and Cole Caulfield go to work for Montreal. I thought Lane got away with a little bit of obstruction, but it doesn't matter. Cole, with a magnificent play, scores a goal to make it 2-1. And then with time running out, much like what happened last year in March, I think, Montreal versus Florida, Nicky Suzuki steps up and ties the game. And then he wins it in overtime on a power play. And, Marchand with a bad penalty, and it was a penalty.
Yes.
And a severe penalty.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second.
But Nikki and it's an awesome play. It's Caulfield to Hudson to Suzuki to the back of the net. And you're like, wow, that's really special. And so I got to think Nick Suzuki is going to be on Team Canada for the Olympics. I have to believe,
which will be
I don't
announced
care
in a
about
couple
the
hours.
leaking that's happening. I don't care. I have no respect for that. It's, you know what? This never happened. 1998, there was no leaking. 2002, there was no leaking. 2006, there was no leaking. 2010, there was no leaking. 2014, there was no leaking. 2018, nobody cared because there were no NHL players there. 2022, there were no NHL players there. Nobody cared. Now all of a sudden we have leaking, huh?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I was just saying that to you, Pierre, too. And it's not, it takes away sort of from the excitement of it, right? Because these networks are building this up as a big event. It's a big broadcast and fans are excited.
It's amazing.
And you're ruining the surprise.
You just made a really good point. Okay. Really good point. Do you know who's covering the Olympics in the United States?
NBC.
Yeah. Not ESPN.
Yeah.
NBC. Did NBC have somebody leak to that?
Nope.
Nobody.
No. And if I'm NBC, I'm looking at ESPN right now and being like, who are you to do that to us? Like, this is our event right now.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. It's not necessary. We're going to find out. It doesn't matter. You want to speculate? Go ahead. But don't leak the actual facts.
Well, it's the way they present it. I don't care if people speculate. That's fine.
And it's not like it's a trade either.
But we do that all the time.
Right.
Everybody in the business speculates.
Exactly.
Everybody has an opinion, which is great.
Right.
But when you leak it, the way they've leaked it on some of these teams and the way it's being presented, like, look at me, I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
Really? Want to play that game?
Yeah.
We'll play the game if you want.
Yeah.
And I guarantee I know who's going to win.
I want to get to the Olympics in a second, Pierre, but I want to stick on that Canadiens game. Last year, if you remember, this was the time when the Canadiens started to take off, right? Everybody was kind of dreading that Florida trip after the holidays, which is historically has been very tough.
Coming out of Dobish. That
right.
was Dobish's coming out
and that's where they sort of took off. Do you look at that game last night? You mentioned that Montembeault lets in a bad goal, but then a team picks him up.
Well,
do you look deeper into that? Like maybe this propels him onto a little run or no?
I don't know about that, Jimmy. I mean, I don't want to go too deep on this.
Right.
He played well enough to win. His teammates definitely stepped up, and Nicky and Cole were really good. There were parts of his game that I really liked, and there are other parts I'm like,
yeah,
he doesn't look comfortable. But all I say is this, is that, Reinhardt's goal is one that can't go in, and it goes in. And look, he's one of the better goal scorers in the league. We all know that. Everybody in the league knows that, but that can't go in.
Right.
And if you're evaluating that as a scout, or if you're a head coach, or you're a leader on a team, and you see that, you're like, okay, is he really back or not?
Right.
He did make some really timely saves, but that's one in a playoff series that kills you.
In your days when you were with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and look,
Barrasso didn't give up goals like that.
Okay.
And neither did Kenny Reagan.
So
and
you never had a
Frank.
goalie go through a stretch that Montembeault's going through?
If you go look at, I'll give you an example. Go look at Game 7, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, first round, 1991. It's called The Save in Pittsburgh. Frankie Pietrangelo on Peter Stastny.
Frankie Pietrangelo.
Unbelievable save,
Yeah.
right? Tommy was hurt. Frankie gets the game. Frankie wins a game. That's what you have to have. He steps up and delivers. We didn't have any bad goals. You look at the next year, Tommy got hurt again. Kenny Reagan comes in because we had traded Frankie to Hartford. And Kenny made some unbelievable saves in some huge games. No bad goals. Like no bad goals.
Right.
Tommy was amazing.
Yeah. 2
years in a row. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Tommy Barrasso was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was. But you can't have, look at Brodeur. All those cups in New Jersey, all of them. Brodeur stands on and said, Patrick won 1993. I keep telling this to people. You have to win 16 games to win the Stanley Cup.
Overtimes.
10 of those 16 games were won in overtime.
I don't think we're ever going to see that again.
You don't win 10 games in 82 in overtime in the NHL. He won 10 out of 16 in the playoffs because he's an elite. So I don't know if Montembeault, I'm just worried about the timely, I see bad goals.
So let's just say, okay, so you didn't experience it, but if you did as a coach, how do you approach it? Kind of making sure the team is still, in sync with the goalie, and you know what I'm trying to get?
I do.
Is there an elixir to that, or is it just sort of it's organic?
It's a great question. So I'm going to give you a personal story. I'm not going to tell you the team. I'm not going to tell you the players. I'm doing a playoff game. I'm between the benches, and it's a major game involving two big teams to have a legitimate chance to win the cup, but they're playing within their division. And the goalie for one of the teams lets in a very bad goal. And he's been doing that for a while over the course of a few years of the playoffs.
Ugh.
Now, in some years it had cost him, and in other years it didn't. And one of the leaders comes by the bench, and he says really loud during a TV timeout, loud enough for me to hear him and loud enough for his teammates to hear him and loud enough for the head coach to hear him. Is this guy ever going to make a save?
Oh,
Crickets. Nobody says anything.
jeez.
That team eventually won the game
Okay.
and went on to have a good run. I'm not going to
With that goalie?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think what happened, the coach knew they had a problem as soon as that player said that.
Yep.
And the coach had to take care of that player and then had to go deal with the goalie. The coach is smart enough not to just bury his head in the sand. I think it's one of those where if you're the head coach, you're the guy that's got to take care of it. You
Right.
can't delegate to the goalie
Okay.
coach or the assistant
Yep.
coach. This got to be on you, and you don't need any witnesses.
Yeah.
You just take the player in the room and just go.
And sometimes you need bluntness.
Well, that's what I mean. I
Yeah.
think I can't get too deep into it.
To
'Cause
get-
I don't
that's
wanna
fine.
rat
That's
it
fine.
out.
But there's times where you can't dance around it anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, this was one of those
Yeah.
times. I like how you
Yeah.
phrase that,
Yeah.
Jimmy. You,
Yeah, you should-
dance
All right.
around
We
it.
tried. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, we'll get serious now. Let's go. So I think long term, I think everybody in Montreal knows it's going to be Jacob Fowler's now. I think
Yeah.
everybody knows.
Yeah.
that. It's not going to be down the road.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying immediately this year, but this is going to be Jacob Fowler's team. It's going to
Yeah.
be Jacob Fowler's net. That's not a knock on Dolbish. It's not a knock on Sammy Montembeault. It's just a reality. That's where
Right.
it's going to go. But until that happens permanently, you still got to live with what they have. I don't think they're going to have 3 goalies for the rest of the year. Though. I don't.
All right. Back on the other side of that game, though, you mentioned the Marchand penalty there. Prior to the game, Marchand's honored for getting 1,000 points.
It's amazing.
Congratulations to him. An amazing career he's had. Nobody's doubting that. Most likely will end up in the Hall of Fame.
Don't say anything. You don't know that.
I don't know that.
You don't know that.
That's my opinion. It's not fact. All right. But another thing, though, that's, we feel he's done a good job of sort of getting out of his game over the years. You've seen it up close and personal. When
I'm a big fan.
We've
I'm
been
gonna
big
tell you
fans.
transparently. I'm friends with the guy, and I like him a
yeah,
lot.
me too. But I also respect how he took it to heart with people like Mark Recchi and Patrice Bergeron and Zdeno Chara, Claude Julien, Bruce Cassidy, guys like that over the years said, look, you have a chance to be great in this game, but you got to take the BS out of your game, and you got to respect the game more. And he did that. Last night he goes backwards a bit, and he does it in a situation where he kind of puts the NHL in a pickle, because I look at that, I think it's a suspendable play. But the next game is a Winter Classic. He's arguably the most marketable player, or one of the most marketable players that will be playing in that game. I don't know what I do right now in the NHL. I think it's a
hard.
suspension,
It's
but
hard.
there's other factors.
So let me ask you this: if AJ Greer made that hit,
He's gone for a game at least,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
more.
maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Even like Tomas Nosek, who's not playing right now, but if Tomas Nosek was playing and he made that hit, and he's not a violent player, he's a very good player, but he's not a violent. I think he might get suspended.
I think three
So
quarters
I-
of that team
This
is
is
gone.
Brad's put the league, especially the people that are in charge of discipline. He's put them in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. And I just want to build off something Jimmy said, because I think he's been really good on that.
Thank you.
I thought it was really good. I think Brad's moment of realizing it was slipping away was when he did the lick stuff
The licking.
with Callahan.
Yep.
And if you really look at it, there have been really no issues.
Yeah.
There
Slipped
was
up
there's
here
stuff
and
with
there,
the
but
Florida
nothing
stuff.
big.
In the middle of a heated playoff series,
Yeah.
there was some stuff with
Right.
Florida. But then he gets traded there. I didn't see anything last year. I didn't see anything
Nope.
crazy that, even during
Nothing
this year.
remotely close to this.
Like, so that's a hard play. And I can tell you, when people play Montreal, Mike Matheson and Lane Hudson are the two names you circle.
Mhm.
You do. You just say physical.
Yeah.
Hard on them.
Yeah.
You don't say kill them or do
yeah,
it.
or
just
concuss them or anything.
whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't like the hit.
No. And I don't either. And my opinion, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I would suspend him, but I just don't think it's going to happen. We'll see.
No, I think you nailed the truth is that if, like I said, if it was AJ Greer or Tomas Nosek, two totally different players, but line mates, nonetheless, I think both of them probably get suspended.
Yeah.
But I don't think there'll be a suspension on this one.
All right. Well, we will get to more NHL and also some college hockey stuff as we're here for the Friendship Series as well. But right now, I want to welcome on our good friend Holly here.
Yeah,
He's one of
Holly's got to get in there. I warned the
General
sheet up for you,
Manager
Holly.
AC Belfast here. We're really excited to talk to her. Holly, So excited to have you here, and we're excited to be at this hotel. Like I said, it's kind of our adopted home here now in Belfast, and we can't speak highly enough. But talk to us about, when you first got here and what it's been like to work here as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant to have you back, Jimmy. Welcome
Thank
back
you.
to Belfast. It's always nice to have you guys here at the hotel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the hotel's great. I love this time of the year. There's nothing as magical as Christmas at a hotel. And here at the AC Marriott in Belfast, we've got a great view of the water.
Got SSE Arena right back behind us there.
So it's always great to have the teams over to stay with us. So,
Yep.
Nice and easy for them just to pop across and come back. We've got 188 bedrooms here at the hotel.
Yeah, and they're very comfortable, I must say. Very comfortable.
It's just great to to look after yourselves. But yeah, for me, I'm deputy general manager here. I've been here almost 2 years. I've been 10 years in the industry overall.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Where did you start off?
I started off as a waitress at a restaurant.
In Northern Ireland?
Yes,
Okay.
in a town called Macrofelt.
Okay.
And
you're
then
from Tyrone?
From Tyrone, that's
Okay.
right. Yes, but I went to school in Macrofelt, so I sort of knew the area a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And then I came into hotels after graduating from university. And just the rest is history.
What?
Worked my way up from there, and now here at a Marriott hotel, which is great.
Yep.
What's
What is the ultimate goal of a hotel staff to know that you're succeeding and know we're doing the job right?
I mean, I guess you could say, well, everybody has a different career aspiration. Some people want to become maybe a revenue manager. Some people want to become a general manager, like Paula, ours. But there's so many jobs for everybody. There's housekeeping, there's kitchen, there's everything. But
So much behind the scenes we don't know about.
So much
right?
behind
Yeah.
the scenes.
Yeah.
Honestly, you have no idea
Yeah.
if you've ever watched those sort of expose shows behind the scenes.
Well, I lived in Montreal for 2 years, and one of the years I was there, I was hosting a radio show, and as part of the pay, they did 50 pay, and then they put me up in a suite for a whole season.
Wow.
It was
my
in Montreal
goodness.
at the Holiday Inn Montreal Airport. And I learned a lot about what a hotel staff, what people like yourself go through, what goes on behind the scenes. And I was just astonished. I mean, like, wow. So that's how that gets done on time and so fast. Like, for example, we get in here yesterday. You mentioned all the rooms you have. You mentioned how busy it is. We get in here yesterday early, about 3 hours before check-in, and yet our room is somehow magically ready. And I learned what goes on to make it magically be ready before this. So it is amazing at how everybody works together to, for instance, have like a room ready early like that. So it's really cool to see. But since you've been here, what's been the most impressive thing about this hotel?
Oh goodness! For me, I love working whenever there's a beautiful sunset.
Yes,
out on the river.
you can't beat the view.
Honestly, in the summertime, whenever you have guests on the terrace,
Yeah.
and maybe a live music, and you're just serving guests. And
Oh, you guys do live
speaking to
music
them.
here too?
We do live music on the terrace.
Wow.
We do it in here. Generally, in the summertime, if the weather's good, we'll have it outside and just talking to guests and looking after them
Yeah.
and hearing what brings them to Belfast and what they're
that's
doing. If
awesome.
they're going to Titanic, if they're going to Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
I just love hearing their stories and making magical moments for our
That's
guests.
great. That's good. What was I going to say? A Game of Thrones will be there tonight
Yeah,
for
you'll
a
enjoy
big New Year's
that.
Eve party, and then back here to the lobby. For those watching in Belfast, you're going to be having an event here tonight as well, right?
Yes, that's right. We've got live music tonight.
Okay.
So come and join us.
Yeah, we will for sure.
Yeah.
And then what I was going to say too is this whole Friendship 4 and everything that's been going on with hockey here. What's that done for you? Have you started to check out the sport because of it?
I mean, I'm not generally a sporting fan. However, I did go to my first ice hockey game last winter and it was unbelievable.
To the Giants?
Yes.
Okay,
I
great.
couldn't believe the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
unbelievable. Everybody gets so into it and, they're chanting and it's just great. And the subway cannon, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's great to have the Winnipeg team stay with us again and, welcome them back.
That's good stuff. And, I think a lot of people who haven't been to Belfast or Northern Ireland, one thing we've learned is just how much this community has come together, since the peace agreement and everything, and how much it's changed. I mean, this was my first time was here last year, but I know many people that have been here before, and I'm showing them pictures, I'm telling them stories, and like, wow, that place has really become like a hopping city. What's it been like to see the transformation of this city?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I love to see our, tourist expectations of Belfast, and they come here and they can't believe, they all say it's so friendly. The city's so walkable. So it's great being able to welcome visitors from overseas,
Right.
and just see it. Even this area here, for example, where we're sitting, You know, 10 years ago, this area was not very much here really at all. So it's great to see the development of the city, and you know,
Belfast
is great for a night out.
Yeah,
You know, the cathedral quarters just our doorstep. You know, it's really, really good.
We know
So
the
it's-
Harp Bar well. We broadcasted there a
brilliant.
couple
Can't
times.
go wrong with the Harp Bar.
It's good stuff. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on and having
Yes.
us here again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'll see
Jimmy.
you later tonight, I hope.
Yes, you will.
All right,
indeed. Thank
sounds
you.
good. All right, Holly joined us here from the AC Marriott Belfast. As we said, if you're ever here in Belfast, you really want to come to this hotel. The food is great. I highly suggest the rotisserie chicken dinner. It's my favorite.
What a
Pierre
job by
Pierre likes
Holly.
the ribeye. Oh, Holly's
Ribeye
awesome.
is good. That was good. So, hey, breaking news: Elliot Friedman. There'll be no hearing for Brad Marchand.
Okay,
So
That
give
just
Elliot Friedman credit. He
Okay.
broke the story.
Yep.
And we move forward from there.
there we go. So that answers that. All right, Pierre. I just want to look back at last night and what happened, and we'll get ahead
You
to
go
tonight.
wherever you want,
Yeah,
because I
I-
watched them all. How about New Jersey and Toronto? 4-0.
We don't
That's
script
great.
this.
That's great,
That's
Jimmy.
where I was going to go. Pierre, we were both saying it. This is a big stretch for Toronto here before we turn the calendar year. They go in, they're banged up. They
No
you know,
Matthews, no Nylander.
and
no
all this happened in like a
Tanev.
24-hour span where
None
they
of
got
those
this news.
guys.
Yeah.
They all got hurt. in
And they still
Detroit.
shut out New Jersey 4-0. That's a gutsy, big win in my eyes for the
Yeah,
Toronto Maple
Matthew
Leafs.
Nyes fighting Nico Hischier. That's a bit different too. I know what Hischier was trying to do.
Yes,
I'm
and I
just not
respect him for it.
So do I. But
Yeah.
still,
Did you hear Keith's comments
yeah,
after
dude, I
too?
heard it.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, I like what he
he's
said.
going to defend his player. I don't blame him for that
Yeah.
at all. Toronto, just meat and potatoes game.
Yep.
Don't give up odd man rushes. Get timely saves. And obviously, I thought Joseph Wall was really good in that
Mhm.
game. Again, Hildeby and Wall have been really good.
Yeah.
I know everybody says they miss Stolarz. They do. But those two guys have been – it's not the goalies.
No,
The
they've
power
never been
plays
the goalies.
the power play's starting to work now, which is amazing when you consider they don't have Austin, they don't have Willie, and they don't have Mitchell.
Uh-huh.
But their power play's starting to work now. And that's not a knock on Mark Savard, by the way.
Yeah.
But you know, the guy that is getting no love is John Tavares. Johnny's playing. Johnny's just playing such good hockey. It's Mr. Consistency.
And this isn't a knock on him. It Pierce, because he's so quiet on and off the ice, right? He's like that quiet assassin, so to speak. He does it. He does his job. He does it as perfect as can be, and he doesn't look for any love or attention. Yet he deserves it. He deserves a ton of it.
This is a good story for everybody. We're over in Moscow in 2007 in the summer, Team Canada, and they're playing an
Oh, yes.
8-game series with the Russians. And
Yep.
Brent Sutter's the coach. Pete DeBoer is one of the assistant coaches. And, you know, Brent's pretty hard.
Was Marchand in that?
Yeah.
Yep. And
So was Milan Lucic.
Yep.
So
He
was
playing
Sammy
over
Gagne.
here.
Yeah, you
Yep.
go down the line. Claude Giroux,
Yep.
Drew Doughty. I mean, Jonathan Bernier. You go down, like a lot of guys
Yeah.
are in this. And Brent didn't like practice. And they were practicing at the old rink for the Soviet Wings. Wasn't at Red Army. It was at Soviet Wings.
Mhm.
And Brent was really upset. And I didn't blame him. I was watching the practice. I'm going, this is no good. So Brent says, okay, everybody line up one stick length away from the boards. And he picks Tavares to go first. And he says, you, Tavares, you skate down the wall. Everybody make sure you hit John as he goes past you. So he's skating the gauntlet in the Soviet Wings Arena in, I think, late July, early August.
Wow.
If I remember, I was there. And it was really hot. There was no air conditioning either in some of the places we were staying. And Lucic could tell you that. And Tavares was the first guy to go. And he was fearless. And he didn't complain. He didn't whine. He said, why me? And
Just did it.
And he did it. And he
Wow.
he was getting rammed
Wow.
hard. And then he did it to the whole team. Brent did.
Yeah.
People that were watching, I don't think they'd ever seen that before.
Yep.
They were mortified.
Yeah.
But that was JT.
That's just
That's
a
what I'm
perfect
saying. That's
example
the
of him.
perfect example of John Tavares. And I think Brent knew he could do that to
He
Johnny.
knew he could handle it, and he could set
handle
an
it.
example for the other guys.
Exactly,
That's a great
exactly.
point. You know, it's interesting, Pierre. I think as you were talking, I was thinking back to when he left the Islanders, and you know,
Yeah, I want to go home.
exactly. And I'm not necessarily. It's almost unfair to me to say he left because I think he would have been willing to stay. I think there was a lot we don't know about that went on behind the scenes. You probably know more than me, and we won't get into that. But he got vilified for a while by Islanders fans. But now when I talk to Islanders fans, they seem to have gone back to have nothing but respect for him because I think they're seeing from afar what a class act he was. Not that he wasn't what he was when he was on the island, but it's funny to see the transformation of he's not the villain anymore on the island. I think that's because you're seeing what a professional this guy is.
I think that's fair. I also think guys like Matt Martin, who live in the community
Mhm.
still, Casey Cizikas, who lives in the community and plays,
Yep.
Cal Clutterbuck, lives in the community, plays.
Mhm.
You know, Ryan Pullock, Adam Pellick, like all these guys, they live there, they stay there.
Yep.
They're respected people in that Islander community. And by the way, great job by the Islanders. So for Patrick Roy, most people had him as a first coach fired in the league. That's not happening.
Yep.
Patrick's,
I was one of them.
Yeah, Patrick's coaching great, and his staff's doing great, and they're getting some good hockey out of that team. I think the fans started to hear, because you work there, such a passionate fan base. I think they realize, you know what, everybody gets one shot at free agency in their prime,
And to go home too.
And so I know they were mad at him, but
yeah. But when you take a step back as a fan,
and
look
then
at
you
the
start
human
to hear,
element,
you start to hear from Matt Martin or Cal Clutterbuck or Casey,
how much we
Cizikas
miss him.
or Ryan Pullock or Adam Pellick, guys that Scott Mayfield, guys that have been through it with him. You're like, okay, this guy actually has the goods.
Yeah,
he's special.
He's a good guy.
So I think long term he'll be perceived as a really good guy. I know they were mad. I don't blame them. It'd be like, you know, you lose your best player for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
People get mad. I get it.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Pierre, another game. The one game I got wrong last night, the Penguins put a whipping on the Carolina Hurricanes. I know you do the pregame there.
Don't disrespect the opponent.
Yeah.
And they did. First of all, Crosby's humming. Crosby is going to push 50 goals this year.
That's amazing.
He's going to push 50 goals.
Amazing.
Unless he gets hurt at the Olympics, which I don't think he will. He's going to push 50 goals. That's unbelievable. Look at, they don't have Malkin there right now. Look at Justin Brazeau. Hey, is Justin Brazeau good enough to play in the league?
Oh my gosh.
Like, how many teams made a mistake on him? Nobody drafted him.
Yep. I know. And how about Anthony Mantha finding his game finally?
A little bit. I mean, I mean, he's doing fine. They needed Blake Lizotte to come back. I know people are going to say Blake Lizotte plays in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he does. He's fourth line center.
Mm-hmm.
They needed him to come back. He's been hurt for a while. So when you get him back, it kind of changes everything.
Yep.
It changes the roles a lot. It helps the penalty kill a lot. It adds to that little frustration factor of playing against Pittsburgh. And so I think Carolina probably disrespected him a little bit. It was great for Stuart Skinner. That's his first win in Pittsburgh, Stuart Skinner.
Yeah.
So I was happy for him, and he took it great. But
and you know what's interesting? So they're still in it, right? And they're surprising us. They continue to surprise us and impress. And they still legitimately have a shot to make the playoffs. You think about this team and where maybe not just the fans, but where maybe the management staff, Kyle Dubas and his staff, thought maybe they'd be. People spoke about the word rebuild, retool, whatever. I like the move he made to bring in Chinnikov because it's not a drastic move where he had to sacrifice a lot of the future, but he's able to put in a little extra something into his lineup that can keep them in it. You know what I mean?
No.
Do you sense that will be the approach going forward, where he's not going to say, all right, I'm not sacrificing everything I've built in terms of draft picks, prospects, and people coming, but I am going to try to make little strategic additions.
I hope he is, because that team's probably going to push for the last wild card. I don't think they'll be in the top three. They'll push to the last top three in the Metro is going to be tough for them.
Yep.
Especially with what Philly's doing right now, holding macro. Rick Tocchet, come on.
I told you he's moved into my top three right now.
Amazing job. Yeah, he told me that at dinner last night. I think with Pittsburgh, the biggest thing is Kindle surprised them a lot. He did. Jack St. Ivany is, I think, really surprised them a lot. And
probably 3/4 of the fan base in the
they
league don't even know who he is. Yep.
Started at Yale, went to BC. He's a kid from Manhattan Beach, California. He's a California guy.
Well,
and then the biggest thing is I think Ryan Shea. Can you get Ryan Shea's numbers? Because I just want people to understand this. And I want to make sure the numbers are direct. Ryan Shea's, in my opinion, the most improved player in the National Hockey League at any position. So look at his numbers for this year.
Northeastern kid, by the way.
Yeah.
2 goals, 14 assists in 38 games.
What's his plus minus?
He's a plus minus 14 right now.
Where was he ever plus 14
No,
anywhere?
the highest he's ever had was when he's with the Texas Star. His Texas Stars, he was a 37 back in 22-23.
Yeah, so that's
but in the NHL, the highest he's ever had was a 1.
Ryan Shea, I'm telling you right now, is the most improved player in the NHL.
Yep.
And he and Jack St. Ivany have really changed the complexion of that defense.
28 years old, too.
Yeah, well, that's what
it's great
happened.
when you see these players. It's a
He
little
didn't-
late.
He didn't give
but he
up
kept
on
persisting.
He never gave up on his goal. And look at all those years in the American Hockey League.
Good for him.
Yeah. So
and that's good scouting, too, by the Penguins. To find
it was before, honestly, it's before this group, but that's okay. They still groomed them, and it's all good.
I think our good friend Kevin Stevens might have seen him
I think
play.
Kevin Stevens probably had a lot to do with it.
There you go.
Which I'm really happy about for Kev. And
By the way, Happy New Year to you, Kev.
We're big fans of Kev. So I just look at that. So St. Ivany, Ryan Shea, you look at guys that are involved, and now they got Harrison Burnick playing for Canada at the World Junior, starting to filter through. Their American League team really doing great, really doing great. They got depth in goal.
Yep.
I think Pittsburgh's trending the right way. I don't think it's going to be as painful a rebuild as what Chicago's going through.
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, before we get to our sponsors and my Betway picks, Pierre, I've got a little fun, some might call it cheesy question, but it is New Year's Eve.
Yep.
You pick a team
Yep.
and give me their New Year's resolution. Putting you right in a spot, I know, but
No,
pick a
you're
team.
not.
Okay. And I'll give you mine too.
Chicago.
Okay. And what's the resolution?
You got to get Bedard and Nazar back quick,
Mhm.
and then you got to get some veteran guys in there to help the younger guys learn how to play on defense. That's not a knock on Connor Murphy. Connor's done a great job there, but there are too many young guys in the back end there, and you can see it. They're in the dog days of the season now.
Yep.
And they're having a hard time figuring it out. They are. It's not their fault. It's just that's normal. Usually you break in one or two young guys. They're bringing in like 4 or 5. It's way different.
Yeah.
So for me, because Chicago, I think, is starting to trend the right way, but they're getting kicked in the teeth now.
Yeah.
And so my resolution is get Nazar back, get Bedard back, and add a little bit of an older complex to the back end, and maybe they can turn it around.
All right. My New Year's resolution will be with the team I talk a lot about the most and see the most, and that's the Boston Bruins, Pierre. And it will just be to be realistic about where you are right now and understand. And I'm not saying tank the season or anything, but don't have any false sense of identity. Just know where you are, know where you want to be next year and going forward, and apply that going forward. And I'm referring to the management team.
So
Don't
go call up Neely and Sweeney now and tell them that.
If they take my call, I would, but I don't think they will take my call. And they would probably tell me to shut up, but that's my resolution
Well,
for
that's
them.
fair. That's good.
You know, because I do think
They'd be wise to listen.
I actually think, and I'll own it. I didn't think they could build the prospect pool that they are building right now. They've done a good job recently. They've got some good guys coming. Don't get carried away with it. Don't rush those guys.
So Fraser Minton was a really good
Great pickup.
Great ad.
Mhm.
Just telling you.
Yep.
Steve's was a really good ad.
Yes.
I think you would agree, but he's not a first line player.
No,
So once they get all the slotting done there,
that's what I'm
it's
trying
gonna-
to
it's
get
gonna-
at.
yeah,
Let
no,
everybody
you're right.
fall where
Yes,
they're going to fall.
yes, you're right.
So that's what I'd say for the Boston Bruins.
They're going to have to. Mason Lohrei is going to have to get some remedial work in his own zone, but it happens to a lot, like we just talked about Chicago.
Yeah. It takes a while
lucky.
for kids.
Yeah, he's lucky though. He's surrounded like Hampus Lindholm's there, Charlie's there.
Yep.
There's some older guys there. That helps a lot. Peaks there, they're guys that have been around a little
Mhm.
bit. So, but I'll just, Boston, I hope they turn around and get in the playoffs. They're an important team for TV markets
Right.
in the States in the playoffs.
And the health of the league. Yep.
Detroit is important. Chicago is important. Like New York Rangers are important. LA Kings are important. I know every team's important. Certain teams really matter for TV, and the league needs TV. They need TV. I had this discussion with somebody that I near and dear to my heart, and I'm not going to say his name. He's a big hockey guy.
Okay.
And I said, everybody's talking about the cap going up, How do people know that? Because I think we're starting to. I think there's 17 or 18 teams that aren't spending to the cap right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, you predicted it, Pierre, when all this talk about the cap going up, said, hey, that may very well happen. We don't know that. And you and I both agreed. We don't think it's going to go up as high as everybody projects. But at the same time, just because it goes up doesn't mean every team's going to spend to it.
They're not
And it's going to create internal caps. And there's going to become more division between the big spenders and the not so big spenders.
Finally, there was an article, and I know we talk about this off there, so it's not for all the empty. There are a lot of empty seats in a lot of these buildings, and one of them
important buildings too.
One of them's Toronto.
Yeah,
and we talked about it the other day, Jimmy and I, before this article came out, and I apologize to whomever wrote that.
I know, I'm trying to think of it too.
It's a really well written and well sourced article, and it's spot on.
Yeah,
couldn't be more correct. And so when you watch enough games, you start to see it. So I see empty seats in Seattle. What happened there? You see empty seats in LA.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there?
Yep.
You start to go around and you're seeing, like in Jersey, empty seats.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden. And I can tell you right now, my brother owns a whack of season tickets in Madison Square Garden. And he puts them during the regular season, puts them on the secondary market a lot.
Right.
They're no takers.
They're not moving. I know.
No.
Same goes with like some of the other big teams. You look at LA right now. I know LA is not the biggest hockey market, but Pierre, I have a friend who has season tickets. He can't move them right now. He doesn't have time. He's got a young girl. He's trying to he runs 3 businesses. He doesn't have time to go. And he's like, Jimmy, I'm stuck with these tickets. And I used to be able to just
don't want to doom and gloom, but I guess what I'm trying to say to everybody out there, the cap's going to go out and we're going to be able to buy. Like, first of all, there are not a lot of players that you're going to want to buy this summer because they've all been signed to long-term extensions.
That's another thing we're not talking.
That's not being talked about enough. That's very substantial. And 2, I don't think there are going to be a lot of owners that are going to want to go to the cap.
Yep.
Because they know what the numbers are.
Yeah.
They know.
I know.
And like I know what the numbers are to make it work. And I'm just telling you.
I hear you. All right. Well, listen, let's get over to our sponsors right now. Like we were just talking about New Year's resolutions, Pierre, and I know a big resolution is for people to watch their diet or begin a new workout plan and everything. But don't be afraid to reward yourself sometimes. And if you're in Montreal ever, you want to go to Vago because they combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. And I'm sure they've got some great healthy meals you can eat there still that taste delicious. So they've got private dining rooms for any occasion. They're open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount, section of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, 514-846-1414. I want to wish a happy New Year.
Tommaso and Angelo, thank you for everything you've done for this program.
Exactly.
We're so
we look forward to seeing you.
2026 is going to be fantastic with you guys. Can't wait for the Olympics. And we're really grateful for everything that everybody at Vago's done for Jimmy and I and for the Sick Podcast Network.
We are. And happy, healthy New Year to all of you there. And
I don't know about freaking Tommaso. He's just the life of the party there, Tommaso.
And if you're having a party tonight, have a good time tonight, guys.
Time, you guys.
For sure. And of course, our other sponsor, Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet those beauties right now. If you're watching, you go to that QR code right in front of you. It'll take you to members section there, fill out your details. And if not, you can go on the site.
Listen to Jimmy, he's smoking.
I'm not talking about it. Knock on wood. Anyhow, you can go to the members section, fill out your details there, and get that amazing deal where you get up to $300 credit back on your first deposit, even if you lose your first bet. Well, hopefully you've been listening to me and you haven't been losing too much, but I'm going to go right now. We've narrowed it down because there's so many games tonight. I'm just giving you 3 quickies here.
Good.
The Detroit Red Wings are hosting the Winnipeg Jets. Detroit, I don't have the stats here. I didn't have time to look it up, but I just know from experience, I feel like Detroit plays a lot on New Year's Eve. I've seen the Bruins play there a couple times on New Year's Eve. They're tough for some reason at home on New Year's Eve, and I like them to win tonight with the puck line over the Winnipeg Jets. Take them there. Edmonton Oilers are hosting the aforementioned Boston Bruins right now. Bruins, better effort the other night. Got a point in Calgary. I think it's going to be a rough night, though, for them. The Edmonton Oilers are playing much better hockey right now. They're finally starting to figure it out a little more on their own end of the ice. Give me the Oilers on the puck line over the Bruins, plus 130 value. And then the Buffalo Sabres try to continue their win streak in Dallas. I was asking Pierre, I'm like, I don't know, Pierre, I kind of feel like maybe this is the night the streak ends. But one thing I do feel is it's not going to end in like a horrible way where they get thrashed in regulation or they lose in regulation. They're my overtime pick tonight. Take the draw at plus 310. Buffalo in Dallas. All right, let's get to our questions. What do we got? C-Moke, what's up, buddy? Happy New Year to you and Elijah. Pierre, how do you think Brett Burns has fit with the Avs? I think he's been solid, and I'm not quite sure whether Canes let him walk as a UFA. I'm with you, C-Monk. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Enjoy Island. Thank you. You too.
Oh, that's so nice. First
yeah,
of all,
he's
thank
great.
you for everything. And Elijah, best of luck in 2026 with your hockey. Yeah, Brent Burns has been great.
What a pick. I
He's
didn't
like
understand why
he's like
Carolina did that
Raymond.
either.
How do all these old defensemen end up calling?
I know, right?
He's like Raymond. You know, bring the voice right now. Just like Raymond, he's never won the cup.
Yep.
Burns never won the cup.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked last year about referendum in Carolina about analytics. People didn't. Okay, they didn't win this year. We'll give it another year.
Yep.
Let's see what happens. I'm calling again. Referendum on analytics.
And I think, Pierre, too, as you so correctly said, when they started dating even back to last year, as you said, when they started to let guys go, one of the things you focused on was the blue line. You're like, did he realize what they have in this veteran here or that veteran there? And
Brady Shea. You start looking at all the guys that are left. Brent Burns is gone.
Brett Pesci.
You look at Brady Shea. Like you start, you know, and I know.
And it wasn't just the skill.
I know they wanted Keandre Miller. I totally understand.
Right.
Scotty Morrow still, like, he's a young guy that's still got a chance to be really good. And I know the Rangers got him in and out of the lineup, but I'm just showing, like, I know they got guys there, and Nikishin's a good player. Like I know their lineup really well, but I just think they're not going to be deep enough on defense to go on a long run unless they do something at the deadline or going into the deadline. But we'll see. I'll tell you one thing: they got a really good coaching staff.
They do. They do.
got a really
and they've got good forwards.
Like Brandon Moore is good. We'll say it again: Jeff Daniels, Brandon Moore, and Timmy Gleason. That staff is outstanding. Really, really good.
All right, what do we got? What's next? Gabriel Lamb. Which team has their GM or coach on the hot seat? There's a few.
We already had a GM was Kevin Adams. I mean, he already got let go. Yarmo's in there now. I don't like speculating.
I don't either when it's people's jobs like
I
that.
can just tell you right now. I said to Jimmy, there are a couple that are in trouble.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And I'm just going to, the last one I'm going to bring up is anytime somebody like Pete DeBoer is on the market, and this is not Pete's fault, anytime there's like somebody like that on the market and your team's not winning and organizational expectation was up here and you're probably down here and Pete's available, you better be looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, for sure. By the way,
they can all say, oh, you never look over, never. Look, in my day, it was Mark Crawford.
Yeah.
And everybody knew Mark was out there. He was coaching in the American Hockey League, but everybody knew if you didn't start winning, he was going to take your job.
Yeah. So that's a tough thing to have hanging over your shoulder. All right, next question. Jocelyn Phillip, 3744. Pierre, who has the bigger upside, Owen Protz or Bryce Pickford?
Good question. Good question. I'm going to say Pickford only because it's more natural offense, but they're both good. I think Montreal has just done such a good job with their drafting, and they just get better now. I don't know how long Pascal Vincent stays in Laval.
Right.
But he's been a big part of this because he's got huge NHL experience. He's got major junior experience.
Yep.
And he's got obviously NHL experience as an assistant and as a head coach. That's a wealth of I'm partial to guys like that. I like those because I know I was one of those guys.
Yeah.
So you got to have a lot of experience.
At different levels.
At different levels. And so I think he helps in both those defensemen. Pickford and Bratz are both really, really good.
It's amazing what they got going on. All right, next question. C-Moke again. Pierre and Jimmy, do you think Jack Capuano can get another shot as a head coach in the league? He's done amazing with the Wilds.
I've been
You're asking the right guy there.
I worked with Jackie, and I'm a huge fan. I think he's a really smart guy. He makes everybody that plays for him better. I watched it happen with Tommy Shabbat. I watched it happen with Jake Sanderson. I watched it happen with so many different Tyler Clevin, so many different players. Just at Jack. When Jack was running the Islanders as a coach and Garth Snow was a GM, Jack did amazing work. I'm just telling you, he did them. Like you go look at those Islanders team, they were not deep. No, he got them in the playoffs all the time, and guys were better. Jack Capuano should be a head coach in the NHL. I do think he gets another opportunity. I don't think he gets the opportunity before Pete DeBoer does, though.
Okay,
I don't.
Next question. Ethan Russell, did last night's game show who New Jersey is as a team rather than Toronto? That's a great question, Ethan.
We just talked about that, Ethan, when we were off the air. Disappointed in New Jersey. I know Joe Woll played well, and Jersey going to say, we had more than enough opportunities. They weren't hard enough. Toronto was just hard enough, tougher, and they wanted the game more. They did. They just wanted the game more.
And when Nico has to step up and do that, that's not his thing to do, to fight like that.
Yeah.
That says a lot about where the team is right now in terms of physicality and passion.
Yeah, no, I agree, but they have enough toughness. I don't think.
Yeah. So where is the team toughness? It needs to appear again. And the coach is not happy about that. I'll tell you that. He let it rip last night. I don't blame Sheldon Creef.
His brother coaches right across
the
river from us right now, Adam. Well, he's actually over in Glasgow now.
Exactly.
He'll be back tonight.
Yeah, we saw him last night. All right, next question. Brandon H825. Happy New Year, guys. To you both. Thank you. You too. Now that Montembeault is back, if he continues to find his game, does the backup goalie now become a little battle between Fowler and Dobis to not get sent down?
Well, I don't. If they're going to make Fowler backup, I wouldn't keep him in the NHL.
No, I don't think that's what the battle will be. I think it's between Dobis and Montembeault.
That's what I think too. But if it is, Fowler's going back to the American Hockey League.
You want him playing.
It doesn't require waivers. It's an easy transaction. You want him playing. And you want him playing like almost every game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No.
All right, next question. Juice, what's up, Juice? Pierre, I was rewatching the Canada versus Russia semifinal game at the World Juniors from 2009. What do you remember about Jordan Eberle's goal?
A lot. It was on the right side of the offensive zone. Ryan Ellis made a great play to John Tavares. John Tavares does an unbelievable job on the backhand, moving it to Eberle at the back door. I think it was Kulikov, the defenseman for Russia. I'm pretty sure it was Kulikov. and Eberle just makes this world-class play. I think one of the best calls ever, I was sitting right next to the guy that did it, Gordon Miller. He says, "Can you believe it?" And I was kind of like, yeah, I can. Because I watched this movie before with Eberle and with Ellis and with Tavares, and they were just such good players. But what I remember the most is just the skillful play by Ellis at the right blue line, moves it to Tavares, and Tavares with an amazing backhand. I don't know how he made that play. I still don't know how he made it.
All right, next
That's
question.
what I remember. You know, maybe the tape's telling a different story, but that's what I remember. I think I'm right on it, though.
All right, good question. What do we got next? Chris, 1993 had question for Pierre and Jimmy. Luke Hughes, 19 points, 9 million. Lane Hudson, 38 points, 950,000 this year. What's going on?
A lot of people are asking that in the hockey business. It's not a knock on Luke Hughes. If somebody offers it to you, you take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
is it a case of what we saw with Jeremy Swayman, where he missed some time in camp?
I don't know about that. No, that's not that. I mean, it takes time. We just talked about young defensemen. It takes a little bit of time. And I think New Jersey is a little like New York. I think some of their players, not the Hughes brothers in particular, but some of their other players may be a little bit overrated.
Right.
When Jack Hughes was out of the lineup, you know, there were a lot of guys that weren't playing at the same level as when Jack's in.
Yeah. So maybe
I wouldn't. The one thing I'd say is, you can't equate negotiations in different cities.
Mm-hmm.
When the player,
they're all unique.
Everything's unique, especially now. You know, I think Lane Hudson really wants to be in Montreal. I think Michael Matheson really wants to be in. I know.
Yes.
So these guys really want to be in Montreal. So they understand it's a different climate than maybe what New Jersey is.
Yeah.
So they know. I mean, Cole Caulfield wants to be there. He's an American kid. Nick Suzuki wants to be there. He's an Anglophone from Ontario. You know, Lane Hudson wants to be there. He's an Anglophone from Illinois. You start looking at it. Jacob Fowler wants to be there. He's from Florida.
Right.
It's every market's different.
And I think, Pierre, too, one of the things we see too, and you've mentioned this before, is just sometimes the market itself, not necessarily just the team that's signing to play, the market itself overrates a player or kind of overvalues him a bit.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Like, there's really no way to combat that.
So Matheson's an older guy. He's been around the league a lot. He's married. He's got a young family.
Yep.
He's from there. He sees his mother. He sees his father. He sees his brother. Like, he's on the West Island. He's like, okay, I like living here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave. So he takes less. It's like Tavares in Toronto.
Yeah.
He goes there, gets the payday, and then he says to the next contract, they'll give you a break. And he gives him the hometown discount. And you only heard it on this show. Only on this show. And that's where I just start to laugh. Jimmy and I both said Tavares gave Toronto the hometown discount to stay.
Yeah.
Matheson's going to do the same thing.
Yeah. And
boom. We just, I'm just telling you.
All right. Next question. What do we got?
Stop poaching.
Ethan Russell. Who's your favorite out of the East right now? Do you think Barkov has a chance to come back for the playoffs? To answer your first question, Ethan, we said it yesterday on here, and I've been saying it to Pierre. I don't know. The East is wide open.
I don't think anybody.
I can't pick anyone right now.
There's only one team you can say, boy, oh boy, they're better than everybody else. Colorado.
Yep.
Like, they're just way better.
And they're in the West, so
nobody. And I don't even. They could get upset.
Yeah.
We saw it like Seattle upset.
Yeah,
them,
anything can happen
Winnipeg
once you get to the
upset them.
playoffs.
Dallas never should have beat Colorado last year.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the East is wide open, and that it's going to be interesting to see if some teams start to rise a little above the rest. All right.
The one thing, I think in the East, it's really important. We talked about this a long time ago. Owner, general manager, pro scouting staff. If you don't have those three, like singing from the same songbook and evaluating properly, in the East, you're probably not going to win. I think whomever makes the best trade after the Olympics, or just before the Olympics, or just after the Olympics, they give themselves the best chance. If they're one of the better teams.
And obviously, even as you get more deeper into the season, Pierre, too, you know, and I know it's a cliche, take it day by day, game by game, but I think that's going to be so huge for teams, because if you go into a swoon, if you go 3, 4, 5 games in a row with losses, that could be it.
Well, look at what's happened now.
And if you go the other way, it's the same thing. But
Buffalo with all those wins in a row. And then you look at Boston.
Yeah. So there you go.
You know, one team's rising. The
deeper we go, you're not going to be able to recover from
No.
All right, next question. Is that? Oh, no, we got more. Dad's Habs. Hey, guys, the Habs have 3 goalies in the NCAA's top 11 for goals against out of 78 goalies. Emmett Croteau at 1.16.
Dartmouth.
Alexis Cornier, 1.69.
Yep.
Quentin Miller at 1.92.
Yep.
Pierre, who do you think is the better of the 3?
I really like Cornway. I watched him play for Cornell.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
All right. There we go. We shall
Croto's
see.
good too. Dartmouth's good. He transferred there from Clarkson, if I remember correctly. So I mean, I can only go by what I've seen.
Yep.
They're so deep. This reminds me of New Jersey back in the day. So this is a dirty little secret that nobody ever wanted to talk about. David Conti was the chief scout for New Jersey, and Lou Lamoriello obviously was a GM. And Lou was, of all the GMs at that time, it was maybe Kenny Holland, who was a scout originally in his career.
Yep.
And Lou Lamoriello, who really, as a college coach, you have to be a scout. Those were the 2 best guys when it came to managers going out on the road and identifying players. And nobody talked about it. But Conti and Lamoriello took a page out of the Montreal Canadiens playbook. If you go back and look at all the great goalies that were part of the organization that was the Montreal Canadiens back in the day, whether they were signing C forms or they were drafted players starting in the mid-1960s, nobody had, like, Tony Esposito was a Montreal Canadian. Ken Dryden was a Montreal Canadian. Wayne Thomas, late Wayne Thomas, they're all 3 passed away, but they were all unbelievable goalies. Like, you go down the line, Phil Muir, I can keep reciting.
Yep.
Like, it's unbelievable how many goalies Montreal had if you do a deep dive into the draft or the C forms. And so Lou Lamoriello told me this many times. There were 2 organizations that he wanted to model the New Jersey Devils after. One, the Boston Celtics, because of his respect for Red Auerbach.
Yeah.
And the Montreal Canadiens because of the respect he had for Frank Selke Sr. and Sam Pollock. That's how they did it. So if you look at the Celtics and the Canadiens, they were mirror images of each other playing in the same era in the 50s and the 60s.
And then the Devils carried that on.
And the Devils were the group. And so they stockpiled goalies. Like, think about it.
Yep.
Chris Terreri.
Yeah.
Like, I can go down the line. Marty Brodeur.
Yeah.
You start looking at it. Mike Dunham.
Yep.
You know, just there are lots of them. There's so many. And
like we pointed out, or you pointed out so perfectly yesterday, look at what the Detroit Red Wings are doing right now. Yeah.
Well, they're just nobody even knows who Carter Gylander is. Carter, go. I say this with respect to everybody in the American Hockey League. Nobody's better right now. And there are a lot of teams that are good in the American League right now, but nobody's better than Grand Rapids. Nobody's better than Grand Rapids.
All right. Next question, please. Brandon H825. Question. I would love to have either Blake Coleman or Kiefer Sherwood in the Habs bottom 6. Which one do you think would be the better fit?
I like Blake Coleman a lot. It's not that I don't have anything positive to say about Kiefer Sherwood. Blake's been a guy that's been part of winning the cups. He's a guy that really understands his role. He's an American kid, a lot like Kiefer Sherwood, that had to dig deep to get to where he is. I just like Blake a little bit more. It's not a knock on anybody. I just think Blake's a better fit.
Okay. Somebody was saying our audio's not working. We're good on our end. We're seeing it work. So I think it might be on your end there if you're not hearing us. All right. Next question.
Sorry about that. If it's not working.
Ethan Russell, do you think Greg Carvel will have a chance to coach the World Juniors in the next few years? I would love to see that.
What are they waiting for?
I know. That's a good point. I never thought of that. How hasn't he done that?
I mean, holy mackerel.
Yeah, Seamoke, I think we're good now, though. The levels are okay. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, what are they waiting for? I never thought of it. He has not coached the World Juniors yet. It's politics. It's politics. All right, next question. Seamoke, there he is. Pierre, do you think Hawks can make the playoffs next year? They are struggling defensively in the zone coverage.
So that's what we've been talking about a lot with their young defensemen, Seamoke. So I agree with you 100%. I do think they'll make the playoffs next year. I really do. I don't think they'll make it this year. I didn't think they would make it at the start of the year.
Yeah.
But I do think they'll make it next year. One of the biggest things, you got to get Connor back, you got to get Frankie back, and then you got to add a veteran defenseman or 2 to the back. There's just too many young guys. It's not a knock on them. It's part of what they're trying to do with their vision, but they need some mature guys back there.
All right, next question. Gabriel Lamb, do you think Winnipeg is heading for a rebuild?
Well, I don't know how they're going to do that because they only got a lot of prospects coming.
They got a lot of veterans locked in, too.
They do. And they talked about maybe trading Brad Lambert. So I don't know, one of their better prospects. I don't know. I feel bad. We this show, Jimmy and I, we really like Mark Chipman.
Yes, they're
and
on. Yep.
respect him a ton. And we also like Scotty O'Neill a lot.
Mhm.
There's some guys, if you don't hear us say anything about somebody, it's not because we're mean to them. We just don't want to talk about them because we want to say bad stuff.
Yeah.
Those are guys we like.
Yep.
We
for
like
sure.
them a lot. And they're a one-line team.
I know.
It just breaks my
I don't know
heart.
what
They're a
happened
one-line
there.
team.
I really
know
don't.
So you go from winning a President's Trophy to being a one-line team.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And if Velarde and Connor and Scheifele aren't scoring, I don't care what else. They're not winning.
They're in trouble.
They're not winning.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how you do that. I mean, how do you sell off all those guys? We'll see. I don't know.
I don't think they're selling anybody. I don't know.
All right. Next question. What do we got? Juice. How good of a player was Ryan Ellis back in his prime with Nashville? Yeah.
So Ryan
bad what
Ellis
happened
wore
with him.
number 4 because he was represented by number 4, Robert Gordon Orr.
Oh, I didn't know that. There we go.
That's why you hired me to be on the show with you. I'm just so bullish on Ryan Ellis and the player that he was. Just terrible. As an undersized guy playing in a real physical NHL, Ryan Ellis was a awesome player.
All right. Next question. I think we have one more. Anthony in Montreal. If
Okay.
Monty plays consecutive good games, how should the Habs handle the goalie situation?
I don't know. They know better than
Yeah.
me. I'm not even going to try to do that. All I'm going to say is this: if Fowler's not playing in the next 3 games, send him back.
Yep.
Just send him back. He's got to
Yeah.
play. Just
Nothing
send
wrong
him
with
back.
it.
Nothing
Doesn't
wrong
have to
with
clear
that.
waivers. It's all
No,
good.
just send him back.
All right, Pierre. Our final show of 2025. It's been an awesome year. I'm looking forward to
Happy
the
New
future,
Year,
buddy.
Jimmy.
Happy New Year.
I'll
Happy
make
New Year
sure
to our
Jimmy
families.
behaves tonight.
Hey, I got to give a speech, so
You'll
we'll
be
see.
behaving tonight.
Anyhow, Happy
I'm
New Year
getting up
to
early to go to the gym tomorrow.
Happy New Year to everybody
You're
out
not
there.
happy about that either.
You know, Happy New Year to everybody out there right now, and good health and fortune in the next year, and of course to our wonderful family at the Sick Podcast Network. We appreciate all the work. We appreciate everybody for your support there. Thanks to everyone having us here. Sarah Stanton, Cara Group Travel, Robert Fitzpatrick, Steve Thornton with the Belfast Giants, the AC Marriott Belfast here, and Holly and Paula and everybody, Alana.
That's amazing. No notes. You're doing that. Good for you.
Well, sometimes my brain
good,
works, you know.
Jimmy.
It's
That's
getting
good.
old, but it still works a bit. And listen, it's an honor to be here. Like we said, that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Is just what an honor it is, Pierre. And you've taught me this too. It's a privilege that we're able to do our jobs and spread the love of hockey and what it can do for everybody and communities and all that. And it's an honor to be here and an honor to be doing this show with you. I look forward to great things in 2026. Let's go get them.
Let's go.
All right. It's been another edition of the Sick Podcast and the Eye Test here. We will talk to you next year. Have a good one.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.